Good evening. Welcome to Source 16 News on this Monday night. I'm Tammy Hancock. New this hour, at least one person was transported by ambulance to a local hospital this evening after a three-vehicle wreck in Oak Grove. Although details have not been released, emergency reports indicated that around 5 o'clock this evening, three vehicles were involved in a wreck at Highway 911 and Fort Campbell Boulevard. Oak Grove Fire Department, Christian County Rescue, and medics were called to the scene of the crash, where one person was reportedly transported to the hospital. Civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, quote, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?" In honor of the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday today, local dignitaries, area residents, and members of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People answered that question by continuing his dream and marched together to the Hopkinsville Dewart Avenue Baptist Church for a religious service in his honor.
So we, the community of Hopkinsville and Christian County, have gathered together today to celebrate this man, this leader, this man, this activist, this man, this dreamer, this man, this father, this man, this preacher, this man, this drama major, this man.
The keynote speaker was St. John Missionary Baptist Church pastor Jeremy Merriweather, who vibrantly asked the audience to continue the civil rights leader's dream.
I wonder where your legs ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. I wonder where your legs ring from California. I wonder where your legs ring. Look out mountain of Tennessee. I wonder where your legs ring from every molehill and every mountain of Mississippi. From every foot of every mountain. The legs ring.
During the event, Pioneers Incorporated of Hopkinsville raised $425 to go towards a college scholarship and $285 to help fund the local NAACP chapter. About 90 students from Martin Luther King Elementary School participated in the march and was awarded a trophy for their efforts. Military officials report a Fort Campbell soldier was killed by a small arms fire in Afghanistan last week, the second Fort Campbell casualty of 2011. According to the Department of Defense, 21-year-old Private First Class Zachary Salmon of Harrison, Ohio, died last Wednesday in the Kunar province in Afghanistan of wounds suffered when insurgents attacked his unit with small arms fire. He was assigned to the 1st Battalion, 32nd Cavalry Regiment, 1st Brigade Combat Team at Fort Campbell. Are you looking for a place where you can bring man's best friend to socialize and play? With a growing interest for a dog park in Hopkinsville, the Christian County Humane Society is holding a meeting to organize support from the public and start developing plans for a place to bring your four-legged friends. Hopkinsville resident and Murray State University student Laura Alexander will be speaking at the meeting. Alexander was instrumental in planning, funding, and building the dog park in Murray.
And it's really not as hard as probably what a lot of people think it would be to get it going, because our group, we have like 6 people in our group, and we were able to get it, planned, fundraised, and opened in a year. So, and community involvement is a huge help. We had a lot of help from the community, people coming in with tractors and stuff that just would donate their time. An excavating service that pulls these things up out of the ground, these boulders, brought them over to us and put them down here. We just put a dog bone plaque on the fence for them with their name on it. So, I mean, it's not easy, but it's very, once you get people in the community involved and you get everyone on the same page with you, it goes really smoothly.
If you're interested in seeing a dog park in Hopkinsville, you're invited to attend tomorrow night's Christian County Humane Society meeting at the Thomas Street Recreation Center at 6. A drug deal gone bad in Clarksville Saturday morning ended in murder and the arrest of 2 men, one of which is from Hopkinsville. Saturday morning around 3:30, Clarksville police responded to a home on West Washington Street where a vehicle had crashed into a home and a fight had broke out in front of the residence. When police arrived, they found 25-year-old Montavious Deshaun Talley, who had crashed his vehicle into the home, on the ground with a stab wound to his chest. According to police, the men he was fighting with had fled the scene. Talley was taken by ambulance to Veterans Plaza and life-flighted to Vanderbilt Medical Center in Nashville, where he died from his injuries. 30-year-old Brandon Schallenberger of Clarksville and 31-year-old Michael Lothrop of Hopkinsville were identified as the men fighting with Talley. Police located the two men around 11 o'clock Saturday morning at a trailer park in Montgomery County and took them into custody. Police say the two men admitted they ordered drugs from Talley, and when he arrived on Washington Street, they tried to steal them from him, causing Talley to flee and crash his vehicle into the home. Following the crash, Talley was allegedly stabbed during a confrontation. Clarksville police charged Lothrop and Schallenberg with criminal homicide, and they are being held in the Montgomery County Jail without bond. A joint investigation by the Marshall County Sheriff's Department and Pennyroyal Narcotics Task Force netted the arrest of 3 Western Kentucky residents for allegedly manufacturing meth. As a result of items found inside the home, the sheriff's report released today says 23-year-old Ren Hendrickson of Calvert City, 19-year-old Aaron Solomon of Paducah, and 22-year-old Tiffany Campbell of Simpsonia were arrested Friday night at a home on Bryan Lane near Sharp. Campbell is charged with first-degree facilitation to manufacture methamphetamine, and Solomon and Campbell are charged with first-degree manufacturing meth. In addition, Campbell is facing first-degree possession of a controlled substance meth and possession of drug paraphernalia. The trio were booked into the Marshall County Jail. Police are investigating a home invasion on West 7th Street where at least 3 males reportedly entered the house with a gun and robbed the residents. Around noon Saturday, Travis Bollinger of 936 West 7th Street told police that 3 unknown males kicked in the back door and took about $2,000 worth of items, including a 32-inch Vizio TV and a 32-inch touchscreen computer. The suspects then fled the scene, possibly in a dark-colored Cadillac STS with a chrome grille and tinted windows. One of the suspects is described as a black male around 5'9", 145 pounds, and was wearing a ski mask with pointed nose guard black gloves and carrying a black semi-automatic, possibly a 9mm. The other 2 suspects are described as being 5'7" to 5'9", 130 pounds, and wearing a black ski mask with pointed nose guards, hoodies, and black gloves. Meanwhile, police are investigating a second armed robbery that occurred Friday night at Oak Tree Villa Apartments off Pyle Lane. Jonathan Andrus of Oak Tree Villa Apartments reported to Hopkinsville police at around 10 o'clock. He was getting his keys out to open his apartment door when a gunman came out from under the stairs and demanded money from him and a 25-year-old woman. According to the police report, when Andrus pulled out his wallet and showed the gunman he didn't have any money, the robber fled the scene on foot. Andrus described the suspect as a white or possibly Hispanic male, about 6 feet tall, wearing a black hat, black jacket, blue jeans, black gloves, and a red bandana. An elderly woman who uses a walker was injured Saturday evening in Hopkinsville when she went to get out of a car and it reportedly rolled backwards and knocked her down. According to a Hopkinsville police report, 81-year-old Thelma Badias of Hopkinsville had pulled into the driveway of 109 Marywood Parkway, the home of 89-year-old Ruby Kane, who has to use a walker. Badias got out of the car to get the walker out of the trunk when the car started rolling forward, causing Kane to fall to the ground. The car then reportedly hit the house, and Badias ran around and got in the driver's seat, but the car started rolling backwards and hit Kane a second time before Badias could get the vehicle stopped. Kane was transported by ambulance to Jenny Stewart Medical Center for treatment. Senators Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, Richard Burr of North Carolina, Kelly Iotti of New Hampshire, Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, Marco Rubio of Florida, and Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania joined McConnell on the trip. The delegation returns to Washington, D.C. tomorrow. We now have an update on a story we reported on Source16 last Thursday night about a mining accident in Hopkins County. Alliance Coal Company General Manager Heath Lovell reports that the second miner that was injured and hospitalized was released Saturday afternoon from Regional Medical Center in Madisonville. The coal mining accident occurred last Thursday morning around 5 o'clock when a drill rig was drilling a hole at Warrior Coal Mine in Manitou, and it hit a pocket of gas at a depth of about 420 feet. The gas ignited, reportedly shooting fire over 30 feet in the air, and subsequently burned the drill rig and 2 drillers. Lovell reported that the 2 drillers received minor injuries and were transported to Regional Medical Center in Madisonville, where one of the miners was treated and released that day, while the second miner was held for observation. Again, he was released from the hospital Saturday. Now here's a look at some upcoming chamber events brought to you by the Hopkinsville Christian County Community Vision Plan. The annual State of the College Eye Opener Breakfast will be held tomorrow morning at 7:30 at Hopkinsville Community College Auditorium Building. ACC President and CEO Dr. Jim Selby will give the latest information about the college. The Hopkinsville Christian County Emergency Communications Center will host a ribbon cutting and open house Thursday morning to celebrate their renovations and remodeling. The ceremony will be held at 11:30 at 116A West 1st Street. And the Chamber of Commerce Military Affairs Committee is planning its annual Citizens for Fort Campbell trip to Washington, D.C. for Tuesday, March 1st through Thursday, March 3rd. If you're interested in knowing more about the Military Affairs Committee or how you can get involved, contact Kelly Pendleton at 270-885-9096 or by email at kpendleton@hopkinsvillechamber.com. These chamber events are brought to you by the Hopkinsville Christian County Vision Plan. And taking a look at Tuesday's Mega Millions jackpot, it's $40 million, and Wednesday's Powerball jackpot is $96 million.